Hello friends, today we will be discussing about risk response. Okay, risk response comes into play after the risk assessment is completed. Okay, risk assessment, qualitative and quantitative risk assessment. After quantitative and qualitative risk assessment, management basically management here is the company's management. Okay, company management chooses the risk response. Okay, risk approaches depending upon the risk organization's risk appetite and risk tolerance. Okay, organizations risk appetite and risk tolerance. So these are the approaches: mitigation, assignment, deterrence, avoidance, acceptance, and reject or ignore. So these approaches management selects depending upon its organization's risk appetite and risk tolerance. So we will discuss this one by one. In risk mitigation, security controls are implemented. Okay, countermeasures, countermeasures to mitigate the risk. Okay, or reduce or lessen the risk. So this is about the risk mitigation. You implement certain countermeasures, okay, safeguard security controls to eliminate the risk, okay, to eliminate the vulnerabilities in the assets, okay, or to block threats. Simple example is encryption, common example. So this is it. Okay, this was all about the risk mitigation. Next is assignment or transfer. In assignment or transfer, you transfer risk to other party. Transfer risk to other party. Example is purchasing cyber insurance policy. So this is all about the risk assignment. Next is deterrence. In deterrence, risk deterrence, it is a process of implementing deterrence. Okay, process of implementing deterrence. Okay, so examples are warning banners. Okay, so you must have seen that you are under surveillance for CCTV. You are being watched. Okay, so that is that deters you from doing any illegal activity, maybe stealing or stealing something from the store or the premises. So it an example of risk deterrence. Okay, so security cameras, auditing in the organization, these are all deterrence. Okay, deterrence approaches. It deters you from doing any illegal activity. Risk avoidance, basically, in this risk avoidance, you choose path which altogether avoids the risk. Okay, I will give one example. Suppose if there is one system, okay, OEM system, okay, OEM software system, but there is some issue, there is some vulnerability, okay, or some flaw that it may hamper your process, okay, or it may put your organization at risk. So what you will do is you all do it together, avoid the product or software, whatever. So you will avoid the product or software which has some risk, okay, which will put legal sorry which can have financial impact on the organization or some other impact, okay, negative impact, what I meant to say. So you will altogether avoid to go for another product, okay, or software or process, okay, to avoid that risk. So this is all about the risk avoidance process. So risk avoidance is the process of selecting the alternate options, okay, uh, which altogether avoids the risk. So this was all about the risk avoidance. In risk acceptance, management accepts the risk. basically it does nothing. Okay, it they they accept the risk. Okay, whatever risk has been highlighted through quantitative or qualitative risk assessment, the management accepts the risk, okay, and doesn't implement countermeasures. Mostly it is due to the cost measures, cost, due to cost involved. Due to cost involved, it may altogether choose to accept the risk rather than implement. If the cost of countermeasures is high, then it can choose to accept the risk rather than spending money on countermeasures and putting organizations' financial health at risk. Okay, so because it's not worth it. Okay, so the management chooses to in the risk assessment, because the cost is high, it accepts the risk. Next, we will move on to the reject or ignore the risk. In this is very simple. Basically, organization ignores the risk. It doesn't implement countermeasures or do anything. But mind that it is different than risk acceptance. Okay, in reject or ignore, the management thinks that the risk will not materialize. So the management choose to ignore the risk because the risk will not materialize. Okay, or it is not valid. The risk is not valid or not applicable to its organization, not applicable to organization. Okay, so in this case, they will choose to reject or ignore the risk. So this was all about the risk response. I hope you like the video. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.